They told you it's just a normal part of getting older. The fatigue that settles deep in your bones, the spark in the bedroom that's become more of a flicker, the confidence that seems to fade a little more each year. But here's the shocking truth that most men over 60 never hear: that slow, creeping decline isn't just aging, it's often a silent deficiency, a nutritional crisis happening right under your nose. And what's worse, you might be taking vitamins right now, thinking you're doing the right thing, while they do absolutely nothing. Or worse, the wrong forms could be creating other problems you're not even aware of. I'm Dr. Helen Burney. For over 25 years, I've worked with men just like you, successful, proud men who have built lives, families, and careers, but now feel like their own bodies are betraying them. I've seen time and time again how the right knowledge can restore a man's power, while the wrong advice just leads to more frustration and wasted money on useless pills. What if I told you there are 3 specific vitamin keys that can unlock the door to renewed energy, powerful circulation, and the vitality you thought was gone for good? And yet, almost no one over 60 understands how to use them correctly. In this video, I'm not just going to give you a list. I'm going to walk you through the real science, the patient stories I've seen firsthand, and the critical mistakes to avoid. And near the end, I'll expose the #1 reason why even the best vitamins can fail you, a silent saboteur that most doctors never even mention. Before we begin, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. My mission is to give you the clear, honest health guidance you deserve. And if this message is already speaking to you, type "I'm ready" in the comments below, so I know you're serious about reclaiming your strength. All right? Let's start with the one vitamin that isn't just a vitamin at all. It's the master hormone that governs a man's entire world. 1. Vitamin D, the command hormone for testosterone and mood. I'll never forget a patient of mine, a retired architect in his late 60s. Let's call him Frank. He came to my office not because of a specific pain, but because, as he put it, "Doc, I just feel gray." He had lost interest in his hobbies, he felt disconnected from his wife, and the energy to simply enjoy his retirement had vanished. He was taking a daily multivitamin, exercising, but nothing was changing. He thought it was depression. He thought it was just the price of getting older. We ran a full blood panel, and what we found was staggering. His vitamin D levels were in the single digits, dangerously low. Frank was living in a state of perpetual biological winter, and he had no idea. You see, we call it the sunshine vitamin, but that's a dangerously simplistic name. For a man over 60, vitamin D functions like a command hormone. Your body has vitamin D receptors, think of them as tiny keyholes in virtually every system, but most critically, they are found in the cells in your testes that produce testosterone and in the areas of your brain that regulate mood and motivation. When your vitamin D levels are low, those keyholes remain empty. The command to produce testosterone is weak. The signal for your brain to feel motivated and positive gets lost. You're not just tired, your entire hormonal and emotional command center is offline. That's why just taking any old vitamin D supplement from the drugstore shelf often fails. Frank was taking one, but it wasn't enough, and it was the wrong kind. Here's the truth: after 60, your skin becomes far less efficient at making vitamin D from the sun, and your gut has a harder time absorbing it. I told Frank to do 2 things. First, we started him on a high-quality vitamin D3 supplement, not D2, which is less effective. Second, and this is the part most people miss, I had him pair it with vitamin K2. Why? Think of it this way. Vitamin D is the foreman that tells calcium to get into your body. But vitamin K2 is the traffic cop that directs that calcium into your bones and teeth, where it belongs, and keeps it out of your arteries and soft tissues, where it can cause hardening and cardiovascular problems. Taking high-dose D3 without K2 can be counterproductive, even risky. 3 months later, Frank returned. The change was incredible. He wasn't just less tired. His eyes were bright. He leaned in and said, "Doc, the color is back in my life. I'm working in my garden again. My wife and I, we feel close again. That's the power of turning the command center back on. You don't just need a vitamin, you need the right key for the right lock. And if vitamin D is the command hormone that turns on the power, the next vitamin is the very wiring that carries that energy to every part of your body. It's the one I call the silent guardian of your nerves and your stamina. Let's talk about it now. 2. Vitamin B12, the energy architect and nerve guardian. I remember a patient named Michael, a 72-year-old man who had been a passionate woodworker his entire life. He came to me deeply frustrated. "Dr. Bernie," he said, "I have the ideas in my head, but my hands, they don't listen anymore. They tingle. They feel weak. I'm dropping tools. I'm afraid I'm going to hurt myself." On top of that, he was dealing with a crushing fatigue, not just sleepy tired, but a bone-deep exhaustion that no amount of coffee could touch. His family doctor had told him it was just arthritis and old age. But I suspected something else. That combination of neurological symptoms, the tingling, the weakness, along with profound fatigue, screamed vitamin B12 deficiency, and the lab tests confirmed it. Here's what you need to understand. Vitamin B12 is not just an energy booster. It is the fundamental architect of your energy systems. First, it's essential for creating red blood cells, the little oxygen trucks that deliver fuel to every muscle and organ, including those vital for sexual performance. Low B12 means you're running on a low oxygen, low fuel state. But even more critically, B12 is responsible for maintaining the myelin sheath. Imagine the nerves running through your body are like electrical wires. The myelin sheath is the protective insulation around those wires. When B12 is low, that insulation starts to fray and wear thin. The electrical signals from your brain to your muscles to your hands, your legs, your entire body get slower, weaker, and distorted. This is what causes the tingling, the numbness, the weakness, and the brain fog that so many men mistake for simple aging. And here's why this is an epidemic among seniors. As we age, our production of stomach acid naturally declines. You need strong stomach acid to separate B12 from the protein in food. Furthermore, common medications for heartburn or diabetes, like metformin, can severely block B12 absorption. You could be eating a perfect diet and still become dangerously deficient. For Michael, the solution was straightforward. Because his absorption was so poor, we started with B12 injections to quickly replenish his levels, then transitioned him to a high-quality sublingual methylcobalamin, a form of B12 that dissolves under the tongue and bypasses the digestive system. The woodworker returned to my office 2 months later. He held out his hands. "They're steady again, Doc." I finished the cradle for my new granddaughter last week. The fatigue had lifted, but more importantly, he had gotten a piece of his identity back. Don't ever underestimate this. Your energy, your mental clarity, and even your physical control depend on this crucial architect. But what good is having the power on and the wiring intact if the very pipes that deliver fuel and oxygen are clogged and failing? That brings us to our third and final key, the quiet protector of your circulation. 3. Vitamin E, the guardian of your blood flow. There's a dangerous misconception about vitamin E. Most people think of it as just one thing, but it's not. What you see on most store shelves as vitamin E is just one isolated compound, alpha tocopherol. It's like trying to listen to a symphony but only being able to hear the violins. You're missing the whole picture. I had a patient, Richard, a 68-year-old who was the picture of health. He ran 5Ks, ate salads, and managed his stress. But he came to me with a private frustration. His circulation was poor, cold hands and feet, and his performance in the bedroom was becoming unreliable and a source of deep anxiety. He was doing everything right, yet his body wasn't cooperating. The issue wasn't his effort. It was a subtle, oxidative stress that was damaging the delicate lining of his blood vessels, called the endothelium. Think of this lining as a smooth, non-stick surface. Like Teflon, it allows blood to flow freely. But over time, due to inflammation and free radicals, that surface can become sticky and stiff, like old corroded plumbing. This is a primary driver of both high blood pressure and erectile dysfunction. This is where true vitamin E comes in, not just the lonely alpha-tocopherol, but the full family of 8 compounds, 4 tocopherols and 4 tocotrienols. This full-spectrum vitamin E is one of the most powerful fat-soluble antioxidants we have. It acts like a guardian, protecting that delicate lining of your blood vessels from oxidative damage, keeping them flexible, pliable, and open for business. It helps reduce the stickiness of platelets and improves the production of nitric oxide, the very molecule that allows blood vessels to relax and expand, which is the physical mechanism of an erection. For Richard, the fix wasn't more exercise. It was smarter nutrition. I had him stop taking his isolated vitamin E supplement and instead focus on getting the full complex. We added foods like sunflower seeds and almonds, but I also recommended a supplement that specifically listed mixed tocopherols and tocotrienols. The difference was profound. Within a couple of months, he reported feeling warmer in his hands and feet, and he confided with a smile that things were much more reliable in the bedroom. He hadn't changed his lifestyle. He had simply given his circulatory system the specific protective tool it was missing. So, we've talked about vitamin D, the command hormone, vitamin B12, the energy architect, and vitamin E, the guardian of your blood flow. But now, I must share with you the most important truth of all. You can walk out and buy the best D3 with K2, the most absorbable B12, and the most complete vitamin E complex on the market, and still feel no difference. Why? Because these vitamins do not work in a vacuum. Their power is only unlocked when they work in synergy with your lifestyle. This is the part that gets left out, and it's the reason so many men give up. Think of it this way. First, there's the stress sabotage. If you are living with chronic stress, your body is flooded with the hormone cortisol. Cortisol is the anti-testosterone. It's the anti-energy hormone. It actively blocks your vitamin receptors and fuels inflammation. You can swallow all the vitamins you want, but if you're not managing stress through breathwork, a walk in nature, or meditation, you're trying to fill a bucket that has a giant hole in the bottom. Second, there's the gut gatekeeper. You don't just have to swallow these vitamins, you have to absorb them. If your gut health is poor, if you're not feeding it with fiber from fruits and vegetables, and supporting it with probiotics, the vitamins may pass right through you. A healthy gut is the gatekeeper to your entire body. Finally, and most importantly, there's the movement mandate. Your body is smart. It won't use these powerful nutrients to build stronger muscles, better circulation, or more energy unless you give it a reason to exercise. Even just a 30-minute brisk walk is not just about burning calories. It's a signal you send to your body that says, I need you. I demand strength. Use these resources. You see, health is not a pill. It's a system, an intelligent, interconnected system. When I reflect on the men I've helped over the decades, the ones who truly transform their lives, the Franks, the Michaels, the Richards, they are the ones who understand this. They don't just take a vitamin, they decide to honor their body as a whole. You are not broken. You are not too old. Your health is not a lost cause. The body you wake up in tomorrow morning is still listening. It's ready to respond. It's waiting for the right signals. These vitamins are your keys, but you are the one who must turn them. Choose one thing you've learned today and start there. Maybe it's getting your vitamin D level checked. Maybe it's finding a better B12 supplement. Maybe it's simply taking a walk after dinner. This isn't just about lab numbers or chasing the vitality of your 20s. It's about having the energy to play with your grandchildren, the clarity to share your wisdom, the confidence to be a full partner to the person you love. It's about showing up for your own life, fully and without apology. I'm Dr. Helen Burney, and I want you to remember this. You are a man of value, experience, and strength. It's never too late to feel that way again. If this video has helped you, please give it a like and share it with a man you care about. And subscribe for more honest, no-nonsense health guidance. Thank you for trusting me with your time today. Be well, and I'll see you in the next video.